Hey, what's up, everybody? So, I just realized that my mic was off. It's been a while since I've done some streaming and recording, maybe about 14 days. But as I look up at the OBS studio, I realized the audio input capture thing wasn't even doing nothing. So, you know what? Maybe I should start the stream over. So, with that being said, the topic of today is how fast does sex become part of the topic of the discussion. Have y'all ever talked to somebody and wonder when should you bring this up? I actually did a poll a while back and everything just to see how men felt about this, and a lot of men feel like if they could talk about sex or whatever it might be on a first date, they would prefer that, but they don't want to spook off the woman. So it's kind of, gray areas on when to do it. But for me, it's always the first phone call. That's just how I am and everything. I'm not about to sit there and waste all my fucking time pretending like I don't want the ass and everything, because ultimately, this is what I'm here for. So if you ain't trying to put out, then I'm pushing you out, like the Superman song by Eminem. Anyways, what I want to do is talk to y'all about this topic, because this woman right here, I think it's a woman, it says in your personal dating experience, how quickly does sex come up and did you want it? I always want it. I'm not saying I'm a horn dog, but if you ain't trying to get in there and show me some cheeks, or we didn't discuss it, then more than likely I ain't about to keep talking to your ass. That's just how I am. So I'm assuming this is coming from a female's perspective, because most men typically they want that shit. It says, aside from dating, just being exhausted in general, I find this is a common occurrence in every relationship or dating sequence that I have. Everything is always so quick to sex. I always have to explain why I don't want to have sex. This goes for men and women. I shouldn't have to set the boundary, but I do. That's because it's expected. Like, you want a friendship and then you want to say, hey, I don't really want sex, or I just want to wait on that. Okay, that's cool and everything, but for somebody not to know what they're getting themselves into would be, kind of uncomfortable. And if they find out thinking that's going to actually lead to something, or, getting up to that, it's going to make them upset, especially if you're lying about it. Like, have y'all ever actually went out with somebody that you actually liked and everything, but they keep having your ass go out, and then eventually you find out that they don't want sex, they don't want nothing intimate with you? It's gonna piss you off, and that would be the same goes here. Like, if you really don't want sex right away, you might want to say that right away versus wasting people's time, because it's gonna piss them off real quick. This person said, why must everything turn to sex? Because it's part of human nature to have it. That's why. It says, why can't people just take things slow anymore? I'm 29 years old. Sometimes going out and hanging out and about all day can get expensive, but I don't even want people to come over. I still want to worry about inviting people over my house for a game night or a date night, because I know it will likely end up with them trying to have sex with me. Oh, why not? If they're not trying, then you're going to think they're weird. A lot of people will get turned off. I was actually reading a post earlier and everything. The woman, was turned off because the guy asked for permission to kiss the woman. She said, why didn't you just go for it? And she rejected his ass because he asked. So this is one of those moments where you got some women that want a man to be a man or a woman to be a real woman, and then they complain like a little crybaby. And then you got women that complain when you actually be a man sometimes. So it could be like a lose-lose situation, but I'd rather go for the same thing that's been working for the most part, and that's going for what I think feels right, and that's going for a kiss if there's a need to do that shit. So where was I at? It says, I do go out on dates, but sometimes it is cool to get to know the person in their home, make dinner for them, or have a game night or a movie night, but everything always escalates. That's because you're coming back to their house. Nobody just wants somebody to be prancing around in their underwear and then, I don't really want nothing. I just want to see how you act at home. I'm going to act like I want some ass at home. So why get upset for people being them natural selves and stuff? If you don't want that type of vibe to be introduced, and don't put yourself in predicaments where you might have to actually start producing and showing some cheeks. You're already in there, you're already at their house, and you're going to do movie night. Unless you on your period or something, then it is what it is, man. You're going to have to let them know, look, I ain't here for sex. More or less, they're going to try if they any masculine, balls in them somewhere, because I'm going to try regardless. But once I feel like you are standing 10 toes down, I'm going to let that go, because I got to respect that wish. But you're getting upset when you coming over their house, and you get mad when it escalates to something different. She put, it makes me uncomfortable, and then it puts me in a spot which I have to complain or reject the other person because they are making unwanted advances. Well, why the fuck you at their house then doing all this little nice romantic shit? It says for some reason people think I'm joking. I would too. It says when I'm saying no and sometimes I end up doing things I don't want to do, even if I state that I'm not interested in doing anything this early, I still have to repeat myself. Now, some men have a hard time accepting no as an answer and everything. So if you date that type of person, you're gonna have to reassure them that you actually mean what you say. So if you don't want nothing from them, then this is what you gotta do, and you just gotta accept it. It says even kissing has lost its touch. How many times are you ever making out with somebody and then they always try to escalate it into something else? Like, we've been kissing for 2 minutes. Why did you what that says right there, why can't we just kiss? This weekend I want a date and we were just kissing. This is our first time kissing. It's a kissing. I guess there's levels to it, I guess maybe that's like passionate type of stuff, but let's keep going. It says, and then they started trying to, take off my clothes. Like, why does this always have to happen? Why can't we just kiss? Why can't we just lay there and look at each other? I don't know, but if the person wasn't making an effort, it might be the same person. It's been 3 or 4 weeks and they still haven't tried, man. Maybe they don't like me. Like I said, you win some, you lose some. If you do, if you don't, damn if you do, damn if you don't. You just can't win with some folks. So I honestly take this post as a complaint. People complain about shit that they put themselves in. It says, I actually just find out myself avoiding kissing too passionately because the other person just gets too excited. Every time I have to give people pecks and push them off of me, which doesn't make them feel good either. Why does everything always have to turn into this? It's so exhausting. I'm starting to wonder, is this something wrong with me for not being interested in that so early on? Does this happen to everyone else? More than likely, it doesn't happen to everyone. A lot of men out here, they're very cautious of what they do with women because women are quick to, get men labeled with the word with the capital R and ends with an E and everything, or doing some weird stuff because they have unclear guidelines of what they really want. And then they tell me, oh, you ain't moving fast enough, or he ain't moving fast enough, or he going too slow, or it ain't really defined. So sometimes you have to slowly nudge your way towards a certain thing, but if you complaining that people want this and it comes off that you look for friendship, and a lot of dudes, they ain't looking for no damn friendship. They trying to see what's up and everything. And if you ain't really about that, eventually you can get left in the dust and somebody gonna find a different woman and you gonna be mad, So if you want to keep playing these games, then just be upset. So let's read what this woman right here said. It says, I'm 28-year female and I'm also not interested in anything casual. However, I'll tell them in advance. Usually I'll say it's quite clear from the app profile and my way of communicating, but I will make it clear, heads on, if needed to. Personally, I don't have time for the ambiguities. That might be that word, ambiguities. There's no A in there, but y'all get what the woman said and everything. She up front saying, look, she ain't look for nothing casual. She ain't, somebody come through, blow her back out, send her home type stuff. She probably wants to slowly work her way into it, but some folks don't want that. Me, I'm more so, look, you want to sit there and think you about to get 4 or 5 dates out of me and there's no intention of just going to anything, then I'm not taking you out. I'm at the point where I don't even go on dates unless a woman agrees to, be what I'm on. If you ain't on what I'm on, then I'm not going out. It has to be that way because we need to be able to meet halfway. If this is what you really want, then this is what you gotta really put out there to the universe and the world, whatever you want to call it. Stick to your guns. It says, I guess it depends on what you're looking for and where you find dates. Personally, prefer taking it slow, so I'll focus on ladies that seem to be on the same wavelength. Make sure the first few dates aren't too intimate and progress from there at a comfortable pace. Yeah, if you want to take it slow, then so be it and everything. But like I said, I'm not saying rush into anything or super fast, but at the same time, you don't want to sit there and keep taking people on meaningless dates when most women know from the get-go that they will sleep with or do what they want, or they find him sexually attractive or they don't. and you still trying to take them out, trying to convince them otherwise. Don't never do that and everything. But if they don't seem like they're highly attracted to you and giving you their time and energy, then don't trust it. I ain't trusting nothing, man. If it ain't sticking to the wall and I toss it, then it ain't meant to be trusted. It says I have usually not done anything physical for the first 2 days. The first date or two, every single person that I have been with for multiple dates have told me that they wanted to, boink me so much on the first date. I ain't never gonna outright just say that type of stuff. I'll tell you what I think about you and what crossed my mind in that moment, but going out and then I don't have to talk about all that stuff, because you know what it was when we first talked the first time. But dudes out here talking about how they want to just take her home and all this, like they got a damn Christmas wish list. You ain't got to say that shit. Women know if she want to go ahead and drop it for you, but if she ain't trying to drop it, then just let it be. But if you got to go out your way to convince her with some shit that she already has deep inside that she knows of, then you wasting your energy, man. I'm not doing it. Don't waste your time trying to convince women that already know who they want to sleep with. It says, someone told me that they weren't suitable. Well, it wasn't sure about me because I didn't try to, smash them on the first date. They assumed I wasn't attracted to them. Well, maybe they used to that and they used to, getting that type of behavior. And some men, they don't. And they biting their nails hoping that one day you might grace them with it. I'm not one of those dudes waiting to be graced, but if the girl willing to give it, I'm willing to take it. Simple as that. It says, personally, if I'm liking a guy so far, I want that sooner rather than later. I'm dating for something long term. I don't enjoy casual dating at all. I don't have time or energy to waste on endless dates that are platonic. I want to know if we are compatible before I waste too much time on or get too emotionally attached to a man. I have had to end way too many possibilities because I was not compatible with the guy in the room, and compatibility is one of my biggest deal breakers. Yeah, and I agree with that. Why would you want to be with somebody that you're not turned on with in the bedroom? Like, you could be compatible on so many different levels, but if the intimacy and romance and all that stuff isn't aligning, sometimes that's just a deal breaker. Like, that's the same for me. If you ain't doing certain things in the room, man, it's already in my head that your ass is going. But I will pretend, I will play along and eventually waste your time, because you in my eyes are a waste of time, and that's just my own personal preference. So if I ain't getting what I want, just know the clock is ticking. It says, I already dealt with 20 years of sexual frustration in a marriage, and I would never do that again. Your feelings and reasons are fine and valid for you, but you seem surprised that everyone is not like you. Why would we all be? There's nothing wrong with wanting to get, right away. You just aren't compatible with those people, which is what dating is, finding that out. Yeah, I definitely agree with this woman right here. The woman is saying, look, I know I could be compatible with you on so many different levels, but this one little thing right here, I need you to be good at. If you ain't good in the bedroom, then this ain't gonna work. Your ass gotta go. This woman, I don't want to waste your time. And I think, like, if you have been in something for a long time, you know what you like, or done something for a long time, you know what you like. And if you're not getting what you like, a lot of people like myself, we take our toys and we leave, and there's no point in wasting your time trying to talk to somebody that can't get it up. That's the best way of putting it. I'm probably about like maybe let me see, about 2 more and everything, and I got somewhere to be. I got a date myself. So let's start. Man, goddamn, there's a lot. Let me go with this right here. It says, I'm breaking down for it. It said I am breaking for it if the date goes good. If the person is interesting and if they're nice to me and the waiting staff. With that said, I have gotten into some awful situation where I was just had to go with the flow. And man, I wish I'd have worded that a little bit better. I don't even comprehend half of that one. It says, I hate to speak for all men, but as a man, we have 2 heads, and it doesn't take much for one to take over for the other, even in non-sexual circumstances. That being said, most men appreciate transparency. If you tell them it takes a bit for you to want sex, tell them straight away. Otherwise, the 2 heads will get mixed signals. Yeah, like, don't waste a man's time. Most men, we get turned on way easy, and women may not react the same way that we react. So by you providing some transparency, it makes it a little bit easier for us to navigate through you as a man and a woman, intertwining in a room. If you ain't feeling that, then let us know, so we won't have to feel like we're wasting our time. But if you like wasting our time and getting mixed signals back and forth, you'll get that just because you're not speaking up. So please speak up if you don't want the same thing that we want. That's all the men's asking for when it comes to intimacy, when they first meeting, or whenever they, y'all decide to get together. Make sure that your actions are transparent enough for us to comprehend. Ugh. Oh, all right. Yeah, that first one didn't count because I couldn't even comprehend it. So let's read this last. This is my last one right here. This is the last one. It says 27-year-old male, and since it isn't important initially for me, I want to get to know the person very well before going to that territory. Not me. I ain't gotta know that much about you, but at the same time, I gotta know that you ain't gonna rob me if I decide to entertain you and bring you through and send you home. Cause sometimes they be trying to set you up, especially if you meet them on these dating apps. They be like, yeah, I do like you. Yeah, you look fine as ever. Yeah, I like you so much, but never talk to your ass on the phone. And then they tell you to go meet them at a location and rob your shit. Nah, you can at least meet the person or FaceTime they ass to verify who they are before you meet up with them. But for me personally, it don't take too much for me to want to get in there and do what I gotta do. And that's just some guys out here. Not all guys are like that, but I'm like that. It says I aim to have a long-term relationship with someone who I can spend my life with. If I meet someone and the relationship is serious, then I'm more likely to bring it up in a few months down the line. Me and him ain't the same. While he up there waiting to finally become the one in her eyes and longevity and all this and that, she'd have been on found a dude like me that got in there the first night and wrecked some shit while he get to get my scraps. I'm not about to allow myself to get played like that. I know what I want, and I want to go after what I want. And the woman don't want the same thing I want. I'm just gonna look for the very next person that wants to fulfill my duties and desires and shit, because waiting around until somebody's ready to come around is not the way to go in 2025. I'm telling y'all need to get out there and get what y'all think y'all deserve first. I ain't say go snatch no purses or go snatch nothing from anybody, but as long as it's consensual and, it's honest and direct and they know what it is, then why not go for it over time? But if they want to play games, or you want to take it slow like this fool right here to my few months down the line and finally go for it. All right, when she think you gay or you don't really like women, that's gonna be on you. I want to see that response if it pops up, but no, if it doesn't pop up, then that's perfectly fine with me. Well, I ain't seen shit come up here. So with that being said, that has been most of my video and everything. Well, not even most. It has been the video. So my last question for anybody that tuned in the middle of this, I got how fast does sex become part of the topic? For me personally, I won't say outright that's going to be what I'm talking about, but I would say maybe 90%. Well, I take that back. About more like 10%. Even less than that, more like 5% of the conversation that we initially have in the first moment. Some men are like that, some men ain't like that, but I'm him. I'm like that. So with that being said, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. This your boy coldlabz, and I'm out.